What's going on, guys? I wasn't necessarily planning to do a stream tonight, considering I'm going live tomorrow, most likely for Eagle FC. But there has been so many fight announcements since we ended the live chat yesterday, which is crazy because I'd love to talk about them yesterday on the live chat. But since we ended the live chat yesterday, we literally had about 17 fight announcements, it seems like. There's probably ones that I'm missing, but Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson, which I did an entire dedicated video on. You can check it out on the channel. We had Marlon Vera versus Rob Font announced, and Marvin Vettori versus Robert Whittaker. All three of those fights were announced, so I figured it was worth doing a stream tonight and discussing some of those fights. So, and we'll do that, and plus all your guys' questions. Plus, I don't know what else. Who knows what else? We'll talk about UFC Vegas 50. I threw all the fight announcements in the title of the video or of the stream. As always, do me a favor and like the stream if you have not already. I would greatly appreciate it. I just realized I forgot to do this. Hold on one second. There we go. I did that now. Everyone on Discord should know. What fight are you most looking forward to? Out of those three particular matchups, it's a love-hate situation with Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson. If it goes how I think it goes, which I'm in the minority, then that fight, because I really want to see Ferguson get back on track. But if it's, let's say Ferguson, I'm worried about Ferguson, so it just makes me kind of sick to my stomach. I don't want to see him eat a fourth fight loss in a row. So as far as just, I don't necessarily care about either fighter, but I want to see a super compelling high-level fight. It's got to be Marvin Vettori versus Robert Whittaker. But I mean, I love all three of the fights, to be honest. I love all three of the fights. I'm not picking Tony Ferguson because I'm biased. I'm picking Tony Ferguson because I believe he will win, but I'm terrified that he's going to lose again. And then I'm dead wrong. It's very possible. I'm not, I'm just a random guy on the internet saying I think Tony Ferguson wins. And that's just an early prediction. Who knows? I might change my mind and make a 360. I don't think I do on that one. But it's a solid fight. Can't wait for it. That's at UFC 274. So that's not even that far away. That's only in May, right? So it's already March. What the hell is going on? We're almost a quarter of the way through the year. I'm mind blown right now. Thank God you streaming. My mental health is dog shit lately, but I always enjoy the stream. Happy to have you here, Sinister Man. If I can help improve the mental health, I am very happy to do so. So you're always appreciated in the live streams. And I'm glad because I think we all have a great time in these streams. It's wild that we can get together, in the smallest version, usually maybe 15 of us, but sometimes there's 50 of us in these streams, just all talking about MMA and enjoying ourselves in a non-toxic MMA community, which is rare nowadays, which is very rare nowadays. So I'm happy to have you here. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being a member. I always appreciate the discussion we have in the Discord. I think the Discord for me, couldn't have been a better idea. I love going in the Discord. We get to talk about all the news. Sometimes you guys break news to me. Like the Marvin Vettori Whittaker I saw first in the Discord by Fast. And I can't remember who posted the Tony Ferguson Chandler stuff first. I think it might have been Fast too. No, it was MMA Warlord. The Discord version of him. That's not really him. So appreciate you guys. We're building a great community here. I'm super excited. Joey, who has the deadliest BJJ in every weight class? All men and women only look at the fighters who are in the rankings. Okay. Deadliest BJJ at flyweight. I'm not sure about flyweight. I'm not sure. I feel like we haven't seen enough. I think Rogerio Bontorin had some good BJJ if I remember correctly. I'll just go with him off the top of my head. Bantamweight. Who has the best BJJ? I don't know either. See, this is a tough one. I really don't know. You don't see a lot of Piotr Jan on the ground. I guess maybe Aljamain Sterling, I guess, would have probably had the best BJJ. He has good submissions. Featherweight, definitely Brian Ortega. That's an easy one. Lightweight, definitely Charles Oliveira. Welterweight, Gilbert Burns. Middleweight, I'll say Andre Muniz. Light heavyweight, Glover Teixeira. Heavyweight, nobody. Fabricio Werdum, who's no longer in the UFC. I'll say Alexei Oleinik. Women's strawweight, Mackenzie Dern. Women's flyweight, I don't know. Women's flyweight, that's a tough one. I'm probably missing someone, but I'll just go Valentina. Women's bantamweight, I don't know, man. There's not a lot to choose from here. I'll go Nunes in her prime. I don't know if she still is or isn't. That's a tough one. There's a lot of tough ones there. Okay, let's continue. I think Tony will finish Chandler. Chandler's very hittable since being in the UFC roster. He's always been hittable. I've been watching Chandler since his early days in Bellator. He's always been hittable. Did we talk about Font versus Cheeto? I think Rob wins, but I'm wondering who you think Cheeto will get next if he does win. No, we just started, man. You didn't miss anything. We literally just started. As far as Font versus Vera, early prediction right now, I lean Rob Font. I just think he's the better striker, probably. But Font has terrible grappling, but Vera doesn't have the best grappling either. I lean Rob Font, but if Vera does win, he's in a great spot, and he's going to fight. I think he's going to be in like a title eliminator type bout next. You know, let's say Vera wins. He's going to fight someone that up in that top 5. Whoever may be there at that point in time. Great. I got to blow my nose and I don't have a napkin. So, hold on. Yeah, I do. That's the worst. First time viewer, by the way. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, since I know you have subscribed, because we had to enact that because of too many trolls in here. But appreciate you. I think Font beats Vera and will probably by decision. I agree. Joey Vettori versus Whittaker, who wins? I go Whittaker, but that's a tough fight to pick. Figgy for 125, gone. Heavyweight has some surprising submissions. Yeah, but I mean, if his BJJ was that deadly, he would have submitted Francis Ngannou. That's my thought. Is Volkov going to be in the main event England? As far as I know, nothing's changed. Merab is injured. He will sit out and probably take the loser of Jose versus Dillashaw. Oh, because I see that up here. What's next for Merab? I didn't know Merab was injured. There's nobody for him to fight. He could fight the loser of Jan versus Sterling if Dillashaw or Jose gets the next shot. Has O'Malley got a fight date yet? No, he does not. Supposedly he wants to fight at 274, I think, in May. Tony needs a win, and Chandler might be a nice break from all the top guys he's been fighting. I think he can win. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park, but I think he can win. Casuals talk crap on Colby because of his boring wrestling. If you're an actual MMA fan, advances in wrestling is exciting, and also look at Izzy. Good striker, hard to take down. Tell that to Masvidal. Okay, fair enough. Well, I don't know exactly what that ending means, but O'Malley is looking at June or July. Yep, so hopefully he returns by then. I thought Jorge was going to beat Colby because he's known for a long time, and I thought Jorge would be able to stop the takedowns. That what my prediction was, Joey. Fair enough. That's what basically my prediction was too. I thought people were underestimating Jorge Masvidal, and I believe that even though my prediction was wrong, my analysis was correct that Jorge did a decent job stuffing some takedowns. You know, in the 4th round, he probably stuffed 4 or 5 takedowns. But Colby's relentlessness is what won him that fight. He was just relentless with it. You know, he would get one stuff takedown, go to the next one. I thought, okay, how would a fight play out between Piotr Jan and Rob Font? I think Jan would just chop his legs and maybe even mix in the grappling. Rob Font would lose to a lot of the guys. He has terrible takedown defense. What's up, Fast? Sorry about that, bro. If I don't have anything nice to say, I tend to keep my mouth shut, honestly. What did you say wrong? I didn't see anything that you said wrong. Panther rules. I think Sean Brady will fight the loser of either Bilal Luque or Burns Hamzat. Yeah, I mean, the division's in a weird spot right now because Sean Brady ain't really got an opponent. You know, there's really nobody above him that he can fight. I mean, they're not going to book him up with Jorge Masvidal. That's not going to happen. Wonderboy Thompson, I don't know if anybody wants to see that. Wonderboy Thompson's probably going to lose. I mean, he's fought nothing but grapplers recently anyway. So I don't know about Wonderboy. Bilal and Vicente, I guess he could fight. My guess is he probably fights the loser of that fight. Would be my best guess as well. Wonderboy said no, he wants Lawler. Well, that makes sense. I mean, look at how much trouble he's had with grapplers recently. Oh, I see. Yeah. So you were referring to what I said about why I had subscribers only mode on. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, man. Sean Brady has better grappling than Burns. True or false? I'll say false. Do you see Bilal Muhammad giving Colby a tough fight? And how do you see Colby versus Bilal Muhammad press conference go? I think Bilal Muhammad versus Colby would be a fun fight. I think Colby would probably win with the striking, with the volume. The press conference, I have no idea how it would go. And Panther Rules, how did you stumble across the channel? That's what I need to know. Were you searching for something and found this live stream, or how did you run into it? Did you get recommended to you, or what? That's what I want to know. Wonderboy said he wants Lawler. Did I already read that, or did I read that in my head? Yeah, of course that's all he wants is Lawler. He's had trouble. I think I did already react to that, actually. Who's closest to their respective champions? Bobby Knuckles, Colby, or Max? That's a tough one. I will say Bobby Knuckles, but that's a tough one. All of them are super close. How old are you, Joey? Well, guess in the chat, my friend. Guess in the chat, and then I will tell you. Guys, if you have not already, run up the likes on the stream. That helps get more people in here. Do you think Colby can get in Bilal Muhammad head at a press conference if the fight was booked? I have no idea. I literally have no idea on that one. Maybe, maybe not. That's my best answer there. Hold on, let me put this where it needs to go. What's good, bro? How you feeling? Who is Tally now? Who changed their name to Tally? What was your name before? I see you're a member, so I must know your name. But I'm not sure who Tally is now. 29, just turned 29, Anthony. Joey, you're the GOAT. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just realized. Keep the questions coming in. Okay. Oh, it's Big Blunts. Change his name to Tally. I like the name Tally. I like Tally. Howdy ho. All right. Tally, are you ready to be mind blown right now? Let me know. Tally, are you ready to be mind blown? I have not moved from this chair. Okay, you let me know in the chat if you're ready to be absolutely mind blown. Robert is more well-rounded. Max is worse. And Colby arguably went to a draw twice. Fair enough. Do you think Dustin can even bounce back for a title shot at lightweight? No, I do not. I don't think he'll ever get another title shot. Okay, you're ready to be mind blown. Look, I'm not moving from this chair. You ready? You ready for that? How could I have known? How could I have known Tally was entering the look at that. How about that? Could be completely mind blown. I had this sitting right next to me. How about that? How about that, my friend? Oh, that's funny. This chat is hilarious right now. What are the chances of that? Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Got recommended? Well, I'm glad that I got recommended, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. How'd you get into MMA? I always wanted to watch it, and I catch like reruns here and there. Uh, and then one of my friends, um, off said he wanted to order. I think it was Rampage Jackson versus Rashad Evans. We ordered it and split it, and then I was still kind of a casual fan. And when I watched Anderson Silva versus Chael Sonnen won, and Anderson Silva pulled off that submission at the tail end, I had to watch every pay-per-view from there on out, basically. What's up, buddy? I know this might be too early to answer, but Miesha Tate have a chance against Valentina? No. Miesha Tate has no chance against Valentina. Valentina would destroy her in every facet. Yo, let's go. How weird is that I have that next to me? Any schedules for your live streams? I always look forward to James' streams, and having another MMA streams is awesome. Jay Bra, I stream every single Wednesday at 6 p.m., but I also tend to stream a lot of the fight night cards. And then I have live streams sprinkled in throughout the week, but I'm always streaming Wednesday at 6 p.m. But like tonight's stream was just a random live stream. There was a lot of news. I have a members only Discord there's a bunch of benefits, but if you sign up, it's $3 a month. You will always be in the Discord, even if you only sign up for 1 month. And I always post in the Discord maybe like an hour, half hour beforehand when I'm going to go live. If you want to become a member, there's a bunch of other benefits. You get extra live streams. You also get loyalty badges next to your name, as well as custom emojis. But you can sign up for 1 month and become part of the Discord. If not, every single Wednesday, I will be live at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So, there you go. Why nobody talk about Shavkat Rakhmonov? Not you, but the MMA community. I feel like a lot of people did. A lot of people did. I'm super hyped about Shavkat Rakhmonov. I can't wait to see his next fight. I would actually love to see him against Khamzat Chimaev, but that's not going to happen, to be honest. What's your next video? I'm probably going to do tonight a video about not tonight, maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it tonight before I go to bed and then post it tomorrow. I want to talk about UFC 273. There's been a lot of fight news, and that's why I kind of, I don't like to do a news video or a video for every single fight that's announced. But there were some good ones. But I'm probably going to talk about UFC 273, kind of grade it. It's something I've done on my channel for a while now. Hey, Joey, just a quick question. I never got to watch Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera. Can you maybe tell me what happened? Dude, I would definitely recommend and watch that fight. So it was dead even. It was dead even. Neither guy was really landing a whole lot of shots. And Chito Vera landed a nasty leg kick. A filthy leg kick. And it was pinpoint accurate, right on the nerve of Sean O'Malley. And all of a sudden he got drop foot. And then he tried to limp around the cage for a little bit. He got struck for a little bit while he had that nerve issue. Then eventually got shoved to the ground. And then Chito Vera jumped on top of him, flash KO'd him with brutal elbows. And then O'Malley was stretchered out of the cage with no serious injury. It was only a 1-round fight. I think you can find it on ESPN Plus if you would like to watch it. Anyone got Elden Ring? This game is so hard. Never heard of it. And no, I do not. O'Malley hurt his foot. Has how Vera won. No, he did not. He did not slip on a banana peel. Vera hurt his leg. Vera hurt O'Malley's leg. Khamzat would do whatever he wants to Shavkat. I don't know about that. I would love to see that matchup. I believe in Burns, but Khamzat is such a monster. I can't wait to see that play out. I know. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Shido beats Font. Fair enough. You think Tim Elliott's weird fighting style is a good solution to Khabib's teammates? It's more like Tagir is just not that good. I think it was a combination of both. I think it was a combination of both. I don't think Tagir is all that great. I think he got a little bit hyped up because he is Habib's teammate, and then also Elliott has a super wonky style. What's up, Joe? Did you hear that they're doing a show about the Penguin on HBO Max? It takes place right after the movie. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome. But yes, I did barely hear that, but I did not read any details. Yep, somehow O'Malley could stand no more after he got punched. Yeah, he got flash KO'd. He was brutally flash KO'd with some of the most filthiest elbows I've ever seen in my life. It's really weird for me. Moicano was closer odds-wise to RDA compared to Paul Felder, where both of them are close. Okay. Looks like Barboza career has come to a close. I don't know about all that, but definitely not in a good spot. What am I missing here? Let's see. That was the bootleg version of Tony versus Habib. What are you talking about there? Which fight are you talking about? The bootleg version. I think Hamzat wins, but just imagine if Burns lands a nasty shot and sleeps Hamzat. I want to see what people say. Oh my God. There will be so many excuses. If Hamzat loses, let me move this a little bit out of the way. If Hamzat loses brutally, there's going to be excuses galore. Tony Ferguson is a plus 155 betting underdog against Michael Chandler. Fair enough. I think it could be a close fight. I wonder if Chandler's going to come in and just look to grapple, to be quite honest. That's what I'm worried about. I'm wondering if he's going to come in and just strictly look to grapple. I can't wait for Tony to win, so that way Earth Rocker has to become a member. That's what he's going to do. Earth Rocker writes off everyone after losing fights. Yes, he does. Who do you think wins, Sanchez or Lee? I think Lee definitely wins. Sanchez, I mean, first off, the dude was on the tail end of his career, as it was. Then he was hospitalized for like 2 months. And then the second he got out of the hospital, he had a fight booked. Any fights you think I should rewatch that were hidden bangers? Yes. John Lineker versus Francisco Rivera. Francisco Rivera. It was crazy. I got to start. There's sneaky fights that end up being good that nobody ever talks about. That's one of them. That was one of the best, craziest slugfest ever. Joey, I watched today Azu Alambamev. Damn, this guy is good. He's like Shavkat, but at flyweight. Fair enough. I'll have to check it out. I don't think Chandler is going to grapple Ferguson. He's going to stand in the center of the octagon and slug it out with Tony. I think the longer the fight goes on, the more it favors Tony for sure. It better be 5 rounds. I need it to be 5 rounds. I also think Hamzat versus Burns should be 5 rounds, to be quite honest. You know, that fight's super important. That's super important. Bobby Green versus Rafael Fiziev. That was a great fight as well. I can't think of any other ones right off the top of my head that were just crazy good that nobody ever talks about. Ain't John fighting tomorrow? Who do you mean, John Hill? I'm not even sure. I'm not sure what's on Eagle. Chandler's wrestling is so much better than Tony's, though. I don't know, man. Chandler doesn't really use his offensive wrestling enough. And also, he gasses out. I feel like once Hamzat gets solved, he'll turn into Cody Garbrandt. His invincibility will be gone and the confidence will go down as well. It happens all the time. I mean, you're invincible until you're not invincible anymore. Yeah, I agree. Tony needs a 5-rounder. If Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler's not a 5-rounder, I am literally going to throw an absolute fit. It's 3 rounds. It better not be, man. I totally forgot Leon Sanchez was tomorrow and how you know it's not exciting. Yeah, I don't even want to watch it and support it, but I just like to give you guys streams. So, let's do a poll real quick. Should I stream Eagle FC tomorrow? Let's see what you guys say. Let's see what you guys say. This is for you guys. Jimmy Manuwa with Thiago Santos was one of my favorites. No one ever mentions it. It was a slugfest, no real game plan. That fight ended really, really quickly. Also, another one that just popped in my head. Go watch Travis Brown, Andrei Arlovsky. That was a wild fight. Lineker won championship. He's fighting for the title. Yeah, I was pissed when the UFC let him go. I was pissed. 11/03/2022 in Brave. Okay. Anthony Hamilton is fighting tomorrow. Didn't Anthony Hamilton fight Francis Ngannou at one point? Sinister. Watch Brandon Moreno Figgy 1. Absolute war, I think. I give the wrestling advantage to Chandler. I do give the jiu-jitsu advantage to Ferguson. Power in the hands, and I give Chandler knees and elbows to go to Ferguson. Yeah, I could see Chandler taking Ferguson down, and then Ferguson just lights him up with elbows from the bottom, busts him up, cut him up, gets back to his feet, scrambles. And Tony's got unlimited cardio, so that's a massive advantage. That's why I just really hope that it's 5 rounds. I really hope that it is. Can Kayla Harrison beat Chris Cyborg? Yes. I think she can. Yeah, Francis submitted him. Why don't Muay Thai fighters, especially the active Thai legends, transition to MMA? They with very solid takedown defense would be unstoppable. Look at Valentina. Muay Thai is the best striking discipline. Fair enough. I don't know. I guess they don't want to. Go watch Asu Ambalev highlights. Okay, I will. Anthony Hamilton looks like TC. Anthony Hamilton's 41 years old. Crazy how time flies. It really is crazy. It really is wild. I don't know how it's almost the 1-year anniversary of the channel. I really don't know how that's even possible. UFC let go John Lineker because of weight issues. No, they had a contract dispute from what I remember. They had a contract dispute. They weren't giving Lineker fights or something like that. And then he said, you know what, release me. And the UFC said, okay. Consider it done. Consider it done. Let's see. Okay. The channel is growing, guys. The channel is growing. We have 2,273 subscribers. On our way to 2,300. And it just takes one video. One video and it blows up. And then next thing you know, we're at 3,000 subscribers. Guys, do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you are not already. And turn on notifications. Do me that favor. If you're not subscribed right this second, go subscribe. A lot of streams coming up. A lot of new streams coming up. So, Eagle FC tomorrow. I'll be streaming UFC on Saturday. And who knows what other cards are coming up. I can't even think of off the top of my head. But I'll be streaming them too. Diego Sanchez needs the money after his crazy coach BS. Yep. Muay Thai is not the best zero head movement. Okay. He was mad when Corey got a fight instantly after they fought, but he never got one. Okay. Joe, if I ever see you in public, I'm going to act like a stranger and ask you what happened in the O'Malley Cheeto fight. Could you imagine? I couldn't imagine somebody recognizing me out on the street. Coming up to me and be like, hey, dude, do you know what happened in the Marlon Vera Cheeto Vera Sean O'Malley fight? Can you fill me in on that? You know what my answer is going to be, right? You already know. Do you think we'll ever see Stipe and Jones fight this year, either against each other or separately? I'll say yes, but that's just wishful thinking. I'm not 100% sure that we're going to see them. I hope that we will see them, but Stipe's always been inactive. Jones has been constantly getting in trouble. At this point, it wouldn't surprise me. Next thing you know, Jones locked up. He's always getting in trouble with the police. Constantly. It's just annoying. And he's so good, and I love watching him fight. It's just infuriating to me. All right, so looks like it's a foregone conclusion. Eagle FC stream tomorrow. 100% of the votes are yes. I would literally probably drop dead if somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, I love your channel." I would probably drop dead. Um, that would be incredibly weird. Actually, I mean, I know I say it literally every stream now. I'm almost sick of saying it. I can't believe we're over 2,000 subscribers. Who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought? I can't wait to see a big turn on the graph, and next thing you know, we're at 10,000. That's what I can't wait. I think at the end of the year we hit. So we've gained about since the beginning of the year, the first day. Or no, hold on, wait a second. I'm looking at the wrong thing. We've gained 11 plus what we have, 84. We've gained, am I doing that math right? No, I'm not doing that math right. 111 plus. So we've gained like about 384 subscribers in the new year. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid. Cheeto in a five rounder would beat O'Malley again. I agree. I might be taking a trip out to Maryland soon. Might make the trip out to meet the great MMA Joey. Fair enough. Or what are you coming to Maryland for? I know you don't live that far away. Someone is going to notice you eventually. Okay. What do you mean by that? I don't know what I said. Is Colby? If Colby has KO power, he is a better version of current Usman because of the pace. Too bad he don't. Yeah, it never works out that way. Guys never have world-class cardio and nasty KO power. Nasty KO power. Allen versus Hooker. Shore versus Valiev predictions. Early predictions, Allen and Shore, but I have to look more into that. I just don't believe in Hooker. Especially going down in weight class. Arnold Allen has looked pretty good. He's underrated. Jack Shore I've been very impressed with, but I have to dig into that fight a little bit more. But those are both great fights. Have a good night, Joey. See you tomorrow. Jones is a nice person. He gave my niece $500 for no reason. Jones just needs a driver. Yeah, I don't doubt that he's a nice person. He just makes bad decisions. The MMA community can be really toxic at times. Can you believe I got belittled to saying I think Ferguson beats Chandler? Yeah, fair enough. Yep, it happens all the time. I don't do that here, though. I don't do that here. And I actually agree with you on that one. In public, someone is going to meet you eventually. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's what you were talking about before. No, I don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But maybe, who knows? Joey beats Ben Askren in a boxing fight, and I'd bet on it. Probably. I have to train a little bit, but probably. Do you collect Funkos? Kind of. I have some. I don't have a lot in here. I was just looking up ones I have up there. I have some from the show The Boys. I have Tally chilling right here. I got Habib chilling up there. And that's pretty much it right now in here. But I got a bunch downstairs. I got a bunch of Mr. Robot. I have Mr. Robot Funkos, one of my favorite shows. I have The Leftovers, HBO The Leftovers. I have those Funkos. Westworld Funkos. I have a bunch of Game of Thrones, but they ruined it with like the last 2 seasons, and now I don't even like to look at them anymore. Game of Thrones was one of the best shows for like the first 5-6 seasons, and then it started to go downhill. And the last season was just god awful. If I could get a better last season of Game of Thrones, I would never talk bad about Sean O'Malley being stretchered out of the cage with no serious injury ever again. I would give it up. I would never talk about it again if we could just get a better season. But it is what it is. He's going to finish Hooker with a front choke. Fair enough. There's a mall with a Mega Sports thing called Main Event. It's actually in Delaware. Okay, so not that far. I see. Mega Sports. What is a Mega Sports, though? That thing called Main Event. Okay. I don't know what all that is, but okay. Ferguson versus Chandler is actually smart matchmaking on Tony's side. If he loses, oh, well, it's expected. But if he wins, he's back in the mix. Fair. Yes, I agree. But it better be 5 rounds. Do you think you could finish Ben Askren? I think anybody can finish Ben Askren at this point. But I don't ever like to compare myself to professional fighters, you know, outside of just joking around. I know he's retired and everything, but it's just one of those things. At least he gets in there and gets, you know, even if he's getting brutally KO'd by YouTubers, I don't know if he's going to get brutally KO'd by this YouTuber. Thoughts on Kai Kara France being a plus 240 underdog versus Askarov? That's significant. I didn't think it would be that significant. I favor Askarov just because Kai Kara France has a little bit of issues with wrestlers, but that's a little bit significant there. Shavkat versus Brady, early prediction. I'll go Shavkat by sub. I'll go Shavkat by sub. And plus, Brady gets exhausted. I think Brady would get outstruck, and I think that'd be a very fun fight. Maybe the UFC will make that next. I loved Got Bro the last season. I hated it. Yeah, and you know, I know a lot of people that last season gets a lot of hate, and it was terrible. But the show started to decline. Like the season before, I remember I was like, this is kind of getting, you know, dumb stuff. Like the guy ran, you know, really fast, and then somehow they knew exactly where they were and got there in 10 seconds, and then there were so many plot holes. No, seriously, I honestly think if you train, you can beat him. Okay. I guess May can't get here any faster. I'm super ready for 274, especially since Ferg Chandler has been thrown on the card. I know you're excited, Torin Brown. Since I started the channel, every single stream that you've been a part of, you disappeared for a while there. I don't know where you were at for a while there. Every single stream we were talking about Tony Ferguson. He has not fought. He's only fought one time since I had the channel. So one time. And it was right when I first started the channel. Do you think Cody should hang the gloves up? No, I think he can still make a resurgence. UFC 274 looks better than 273. I don't know about all that. I think 273 looks pretty damn good. So, I'll have to look at him in more in depth, though. What percentage chance do you give McKinney of winning? I will say 60%. I think it's a close fight. What do we got going on here? Thank you for subscribing, my friend. Thank you for subscribing. Slowly growing the subscriber base. That's what seems like what happens here. Continue with the questions. Do you think punchers like Ngannou and Rosenstrike or Deontay Wilder are born that way, or can a person be trained to hit that hard? I think it's a combination of just being born that way and technique. You know, it's crazy that some guys just have nasty power and others don't. It's a weird thing, you know. Like for example, let's take a look at light heavyweight. Look at a guy like, you know, who? Dustin Jacoby got ranked number 15 now. Look at a guy like Nikita Krylov, who's not knocking anyone out. And then think about a guy like Rumble Johnson. Rumble Johnson was just knocking guys dead. Okay, so it looks like the majority of people want me to stream Eagle FC tomorrow. I'll end that poll and get it out of the way. So I think it's a combination of being born that way, but also training pretty well. What's next for Vazeev? I hope they rebook the RDA fight. 274 really isn't that good. When I saw it on Saturday, I thought they needed to add a lot to it. So unless they added quite a bit to it, I still think it's decent now, especially with the Ferguson Chandler edition. But it still needs to add. You know, maybe they're still thinking Yuri versus Glover's on there, but it's not. Imagine they put Tony Ferguson and Chandler on the early prelims. That's not going to happen. Isn't Rosenstrike from Suriname? Yeah, I believe so. What card will Cruz Aldo be on? I'm not sure that that's actually going to happen. Very cool country. I've never been there and never even seen what it is. Cruz Aldo won't be made. Yeah, I doubt it. I think it's got to be Aldo versus Dillashaw. Aldo versus Dillashaw is the fight to make, in my humble opinion. I mean, Aldo versus Dillashaw would be a lot of fun. It would just make me really sad to see Jose Aldo potentially lose to TJ Dillashaw. I'm ready to see Sean fight now since he's ranked. Well, hopefully he's going to fight on 274. They're going to add him to 274 supposedly. That's what a lot of people have been saying. That's what a lot of people have been saying. So we'll see if it actually happens or not. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Let me take a look at this. Guys, after the stream, I don't know, maybe some of you already have, but I would appreciate it if you watched all my prediction videos for UFC Vegas 50. I did a bunch of them. I have 4, I think, on the channel. Santos versus Ankalaev, Marlon Vera versus Song Yadong, Drew Dober, Terrence McKinney, and Silva versus Pereira. So I would appreciate if you guys check those out. What will be the co-main of 274? I don't know. I hope it's another. Title fight of some sort, and I hope Ferguson versus Chandler is the feature fight on the card. I'm ready to see. Okay, read that. Izzy Jarrett are fighting on 276 in July. Is that official yet? I don't think that's official yet. I am that nerd in geography class. Haha. Suriname is a small country in South America with a dense jungle interior. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. See, I'm not super familiar with it. But that's crazy that you know that. Look up, you know what always interests me? Look up North Sentinel Island. I'm sure you probably already heard of it. You think they should get rid of the BMF belt? I mean, it's already gotten rid of it. I mean, it's not being defended anywhere. It was just a make-believe belt. You know, it was a slippery slope inventing it. I thought it was kind of fun, you know, but it's like, I'm tired of hearing about it. Oh, put the BMF belt on the line. The BMF belt is fake. It's not a real belt. It was just for show. It was a weird one-off. I don't ever want to see them do that again. Maybe I'm in the minority, but I don't ever want to see the BMF belt again. Let's do a poll on that. Should the UFC keep the BMF belt? Because it's already pretty much gone. I mean, it hasn't been defended. I mean, it's dumb. It's dumb. It was a one-time thing. That's the great thing for Jorge Masvidal. He will always be the BMF because it will never be defended. The only way they should ever put it back on the line is if he fights Nate Diaz again, which I don't want to see anyway. When will Figgy fight next? Maybe 275? Chandler's losses were competitive and nothing compared to Tony's, you have to admit. Chandler's losses were competitive and nothing compared to Tony's, you have to admit. Let's take a quick peek. Let's take a quick peek at Michael Chandler's losses, and not just UFC losses. So, in May of 2019, he got brutally TKO'd by Patricio Pitbull. I got a sneeze coming on. Woo. In June of 2017, there was a TKO doctor stoppage. I don't remember that fight too well. I do remember the loss to Will Brooks where he got clipped badly and he called timeout. So, you know, I guess you should say, you know, the TKO loss to Charles Oliveira was close. But what's worse, a decision loss to Charles Oliveira or getting finished by Charles Oliveira? You know, so it's all subject. You know, it's all so subjective is what I'm trying to say. You know, you can really pull out anything. You can say, well, Chandler's been stopped more. I mean, look at all the damage he took in the Justin Gaethje fight. I would say he took almost the same amount of damage as Ferguson did in the Justin Gaethje fight. Gaethje's putting damage on these guys. Now, maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but you get my point. You know, I think Ferguson has been losing, but he's been getting dominated in the grappling aspect. Now I got hiccups now. What is going on here? I have no idea what's going on here. So, it's up for debate. Thank goodness, 85% saying no, the UFC should not keep it. Who would have the belt right now if it was always on the line? Usman would have the belt. Because Jorge Masvidal lost to Usman again, and then Usman beat Colby, and Colby again. I believe they should have Sean fight the winner of Dong Moraes. But yeah, but he needs to fight before then. Co-main of 274 is Tony Ferguson versus Chandler. I don't know if that's official as a co-main yet. When will Figgy fight next? I already answered that. Answered that one. Is the island where the people are extremely protective of it? Yeah, like nobody's ever had any interaction with them. Anybody that washes up there or tries to talk to them gets killed, basically. BMF belt fake. You're right. It's a fake belt. I mean, it's horseshit. The only way hell keep it is if nobody cares about it. Lamau. Okay. I was never that big on geography, taking all those map tests, having all the countries up in Africa, pure torture. I'm really into history, actually. I'm like super into history. Like if Colby really wanted to, would have wanted it, he would have actually asked for it. Can name every country in the South America, North America, South America, and the good majority of the world. That's crazy. Just to strip Jorge's pride. Yeah, but Jorge didn't have it already. At one point, I had all Africa for a test, but not anymore. It's going to take me a while, but if you really want, sure. Really want what? Oh, like name it here. No, you don't need to. Ferguson's definitely getting cut if he loses, and he should retire. I hope not. Can we name every country in Balkans and North plus West Africa? I cannot. Oh, you can. Not going to lie, if someone in the lightweight division can't come with a style like Israel, they'll dominate. Very true. Very true. Let's see. I don't know, though. You don't have a dominant grappler at middleweight like you have Islam Makhachev. But I think an Islam Makhachev equivalent at middleweight would lose to Adesanya anyway. Please, Jamal Hill versus Magomed Ankalaev. Who do you think wins? I think Magomed Ankalaev relies on his grappling to beat Jamal Hill. I'm talking countries, not the USA. Okay. Name all the southern states. I'm from Canada, so we learn nothing about the states. Yeah, name every state. Since you're so... Never mind. Never mind. That's crazy, though. That's crazy to know all the different countries. I couldn't... You know what actually blew my mind? I didn't realize where Ireland was until recently I looked at a map. I'm going to go look it up again. I thought Ireland was way further west. And I realized how close it was. Let's take a look. It's right up. Now I got to figure out where it's at again. Yeah, I thought Ireland was far west, closer to like Russia. But turns out it's just right there. I can't believe that. There's so many countries in Africa. Zimbabwe, South Africa, Namibia. That's insane. Chad, Sudan, Libya, Egypt, Algeria. There's so many. I can't believe how small the UK is. I always think of the UK as really big. It's crazy how you start to get... When you really look at a map, you start to realize how big the United States is. I mean, think about it. You got Norway, Sweden, and Finland right here up top. Germany isn't even that big. What? I always thought Germany was bigger. That's insane. That's insanity to me. Look how big. What's the biggest country is Russia, correct? I believe, right? Because Russia is a country. It looks like it would be a continent. How big it is. It's humongous. I believe that's the biggest country. Okay. Let's see. I'm missing a bunch of stuff. Well, I like how we're just talking about geography. I imagine somebody randomly jumping into this stream. Like, why are these guys talking about geography? Okay, 71% says the UFC should not keep the BMF belt around. There's Providence and territories. Sean don't have a fight. Rob Font fighting Cheeto, which is a good fight. I want to see him fight Marab. Then you got Dong versus Moraes. He could fight Munoz, which he's talked about. How far did MMA Joey go in education? Associate's degree, bachelor's, or high school diploma? Why don't you guys guess in the chat? Maybe one day I'll tell you. Guess in the chat what you think. If UFC had to pick two of their fighters, hold on, we'll do a poll. Hold on real quick. What education do I have? I don't even know if that sounds right. So there you go. Let's see. This is the weirdest live chat we're doing. This is the weirdest live stream we're doing. Let's get a couple options in here. Associates. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to type a poll right here. Let's throw master's degree in here too. That you never know. That's a possibility right there. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Go vote in the most randomest poll ever. Let's see what you guys think. If the UFC had to pick two other fighters to put on a boxing match, who are the two fighters that they would pick to put on a boxing match? Probably Jorge Masvidal and Connor, I would say. Look at Torrin Brown naming all the states. All the people are wondering, like, what is going on in this stream here? What is going on here in the stream? What's up, MMA Joey? I came over from James Lynch's channel. Appreciate you. Like from a while ago? From a while ago? I know I just seen you subscribe now, but didn't you come over from a while ago? If I remember correctly. After today's announcements, that leave Costa versus Strickland. Probably. You look at the rankings right now. Marvin versus Whittaker. Jarrett versus Adesanya. Brunson is not fighting Strickland. Jack just fought Strickland. Yeah, I think Paulo Costa versus Strickland has got to happen. Yeah, 1 Russia, 2 Canada, 3 China. That's crazy. Yeah, he would. Why are you guys talking about photography? We're talking about geography. Just the distance control alone would beat Islam. Fair enough. Ian Gary and Pimlet are hype trains. Your thoughts? They are fighting bums. They're still new in the UFC. I'm not going to say they're fighting bums because, I mean, they don't deserve to step up in competition yet. Let them get a couple wins, and then we'll see. Justin Rios says bachelors. Hold on. Joey did his bachelor's. I originally thought you went to college for 4 years, and I thought you said it was high school in a stream. Joey dropped out in middle school. Just start asking him hard questions, and we'll see what he can answer. If Vettori wins, he gets a title shot. No, definitely not. I wonder what MMA Joey would major in. MMA, maybe. Now, I saw you on James Lynch. I didn't know you had a channel. I just subscribed now. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. How'd you just find the channel now is the real question. I think I'm going to lean master's degree. I think you guys should vote master's degree right there. Maybe what if you guys found out I'm a doctor? You guys would be just shook to the core. I got a doctorate degree. I think that's the same as master's. I'm not 100% sure on that. Do the matchmakers take rankings into consideration when making fight? Probably. I think so. I think they look at it and kind of do their best. Bro, I don't want to see Vettori fight for a title no more. Me neither. I feel bad for Tony Ferguson, man. Chandler's going to, oh my God, it's going to be hard to watch. It's going to be worse than what Gaethje did to him. If your Ferguson family, don't watch. Stop it, dude. Stop it. Stop it. Hold on 1 second. Joey, if you had to box one current UFC fighter, who would it be? If I want to win, Jeez Louise. If I want to win, who has the worst stand-up? I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know who has terrible stand-up. I'm definitely fighting a smaller guy. to improve my chances, but they're all so fast. You know what? I'm just gonna go Francis Ngannou. I'm gonna go Francis Ngannou. Just for fun. Look, if it's gonna be televised, I wanna, fight a badass. I don't wanna, you know what I mean? If I pick out some guy who's not good at striking and then I lose anyway, why not just get brutally KO'd by Ngannou? I'd pick Ngannou. Screw it. Where the F has Costa been? He got whooped by Israel and hasn't been talked about since. He fought Vettori. I don't know if that's necessarily a hint, man. You can do that and have plenty of different education levels. So I know plenty of people with different education levels. Alex Pereira beats Strickland easily. I agree for the most part. Wait, so you actually think Ferguson has a chance against Michael Chandler? Yes, I do, Mike Griffin. I think Ferguson has nasty cardio. I think he has unorthodox striking. And I think he has decent enough jiu-jitsu. And I think Chandler has a suspicious chin. And I think also Chandler has a suspicious cardio. A suspicious gas tank is what I meant to say. Who wins in boxing, Dustin or Connor? Should Ferguson retire after getting beat up by Chandler? No. LOL. I don't know what the LOL was about. I guess the fact that I'll take on Francis. Can't wait to get out of high school so I can start my major. So tired of government and all this crap. I'm picking Chris. I want Ferguson to win, but I think Chandler KOs him. I don't think anybody KOs him. Randy Brown and Cass Williams should be a good fight. I doubt he reaches the rankings. Patty should. Okay, fair enough. So it looks like we're in a dead heat. High school diploma or bachelor's degree. Come on, guys. Someone break the tie there. Here, we'll just break it down to those two. I'll end the poll. It's tied. This is the dumbest poll ever. One here. Okay, there we go. You guys can break the tie with just two options now. Leo says none. Only reason I even get up is for my computer science classes. Don't care about anything else. Do you think there's a fighter outside of heavyweight, the light heavyweight, that can beat Francis? Do you think there's a fighter outside of heavyweight and light heavyweight that can beat Francis? I have a million tabs open, and 3 of them are world maps. So let me X out of those. Let me X out of this. Outside of heavyweight or light heavyweight that can beat Francis. I don't think so, man. Size is too much of an advantage. You should have added middle school because you dropped out. Damn, I've never been so insulted in my life, my friend. Not that I don't even think people who drop out of school are even necessarily dumb. I know there's a big stigma to that. But, I mean, school's just basically a litmus test, in my opinion. Can't stand Stephen A. Smith comment on UFC MMA, but someone popular like him can grow the sport, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts as well. I find him annoying, but what I also find annoying is sometimes he says something correct, and then the MMA fan base, as well as the MMA media, attack him because he's an outsider. So I'm trying to think of the proper way to explain my feelings towards this. So before I give you any more feelings on this, first off, I can't stand Stephen A. Smith, right? I cannot stand Stephen A. Smith at all. I find him really annoying. I used to hate when people talked about constant Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless back in the day. With that being said, I think the MMA community as a whole, whether it be the fighters, the people in the Dana White, people high up in the UFC, the fans, the media, basically everyone encapsulated in the MMA community is too harsh on outsiders. There's too many people who would like to watch the sport or like to participate in the sport, and people try to scare them away. There's so many people, even people who watch this channel, who say like they like this channel because it's not like we're constantly insulting them because they don't know, oh, what about this guy? I never heard of this guy. I never seen him before. You know? So I don't think that MMA is open enough to letting outsiders in or casuals in. And there's so many people that get too much hate or get too much criticism for no reason. I'm not saying Stephen A. Smith is one of those, but I feel like a lot of the MMA community is super biased because it's the mentality, we like this first. We know more about it, you know? And I don't think that's a great mindset to have. And that's all being said, again, I can't stand Stephen A. Smith, but I just don't listen to him. I don't think having him talk about the sport is going to hurt me. I hate when they kind of force him on UFC broadcast a bit. So, you know, I'm with you on that as well. But also, I think you can not know a lot about the sport and you can still enjoy talking about it. And on top of that, you can still get some things right. I'll never forget, you know, I'm sure you guys remember it. Maybe you agree with me on this. Maybe you disagree with me on this. But Stephen A. Smith talked about Donald Cerrone when he fought Conor McGregor and said, Cowboy Cerrone did not show up tonight. He quit in that cage. And as much as I dislike Stephen A. Smith, I agreed with him 100%. And I thought he was correct. The MMA media, the fighters, the MMA fans as a whole, all lashed out like, what does Stephen A. Smith know? He doesn't know anything, blah, 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 blah. And I remember there was plenty of media members making videos about it, talking about Stephen A. Smith doesn't know what he's talking about. Conor was just a better fighter. They were just gobbling up Conor, right? And then, sure enough, Donald Cerrone came out and said, I didn't show up that night. I quit there in that cage. Said something to that effect. And then none of them media members even came out and said, well, you know what? It looks like he was right. I even saw one media member say, well, Donald Cerrone might have said that, but that's not what he meant. So I know I've gone on a tangent here, but basically on a very small level, I think we should be more open to people who are casually fans of the sport. And I think we shouldn't be so harsh on them, even if you absolutely hate them like Stephen A. Smith, like I do as well. And just fans in general. There's too many people trying to like exile people because they don't know as much about the sport as you. I mean, I even get it, you know, and I watched the sport religiously for 10, 12 years. And there's people that's comment on my videos, you don't know shit about the sport. You don't know, you didn't watch this fight, you don't know shit. You're casual. You don't train 5 days a week rolling jiu-jitsu. I get that at a different level. People try to tell me that too. So I know I've gone on a long rant there, but that's why you guys show up for the streams anyway. Ty versus Stipe. I don't know if that's going to happen. I take Stipe. Who wins this weekend? Okay, now I got who wins this weekend main event. I have a prediction video on the channel. I'm going Magomed Ankalaev. Isn't Ferguson versus Chandler 3 rounds? Supposedly, but I hope it is 5 rounds. I haven't seen it confirmed one way or another. The old Ferguson could beat Chandler, yes, but the new Ferguson, he'll not. Gaethje absolutely changed Ferguson, man. Mark my words, he'll be KO'd for the first time in his career in the first round. I hope not. Isn't the tie broken? High school 41, bachelor got 35. It was 38-38 on my end. And now it's 67-33. So it looks like I got a bachelor's degree. That's what we're going to stick with. 67% say that. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. Maybe I'll tell you one day. Maybe I won't. We'll see. I'll leave a little bit of mystery. I tell you guys everything. Isn't the tie broken? I don't know. Maybe that was an old message. Road to victory for Vettori. I don't know there is a road to victory. I don't think he can out-grapple Whittaker. He's going to have to KO him, and I don't see that happening. Well, I'm going to head out last day before spring break. Going to get the whole week off. So tomorrow is your last day before you get off for a while. That's awesome. There could have probably been somebody at middleweight that could beat Francis years ago. But ever since he started doing offensive wrestling, there's no chance. Wonder if old Cerrone will have anything to offer Lozon. They're both old as shit, so who knows? Shit, if Francis ever dropped weight, I got a couple that can. Yeah, if he drops weight. Good morning, Joey Kanye West is the dropout. Fair enough. What's up? Yeah, I don't ever judge anybody based off their education. Ever. What's up, Blaze One? He literally picked up and carried Li Jingliang like a toddler. Facts. The MMA community can be little bitches. I agree. Do you see Conor hitting pads on Twitter or no? I did not. If there was a 162-pound division, who would be champion? I'll say Kamaru Usman cuts the weight. I agree about the MMA community being so harsh, but at the same time, Smith has no reasoning being on pay-per-view commentary. I agree. That's perfectly said. That's perfectly said right there. It's especially like that with celebrities, but Steven has admitted he doesn't know about MMA. The fans who say casuals never made sense. There's a lot of consistent viewers who still can't consistently pick fights correctly. Exactly. Complete excuses from Cerrone. No injury, nothing. Just wasn't feeling the moment, bro. You have over 35 fights. Okay, it's fair enough. Either way, he said it. Hopefully, win, lose, or draw, Cerrone has to retire after the Joe Lozon fight. Okay. Stipe over Tai. Yeah, I think Stipe wins that fight as well. I feel like I go back to the stream where you said, but I don't know if I'm remembering incorrect. I don't remember ever talking about education on the channel, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I think Cerrone beats Lozon. I'd probably go Lozon. I don't believe in Cerrone anymore. Chandler has 2 losses, so I think he's not going to take risk and brawl like he did with Justin. I think he's going to go to wrestle with Tony, and Tony gets taken down with ease. So unfortunately, Chandler wins. That's why I really want it to be a 5-round fight. Do you know the British flyweight fighter originally from Dagestan, Mohamed Mokaev? He will fight in England card in 19 March. Yes, I do. I'm familiar with him. Apparently, I think he's fighting Cody Durden or something like that, I think. I'm going to do some more research, and I'll do a prediction video for that, probably, on the channel. Oh, I never seen this. I just seen your Discord thing, Sinister. So the place coming up and up Christian Club main event on March 6th going to have bowling, 2-story laser tag, gravity ropes course, and a zip line, like 120 interactive virtual games. That is wild. That place looks awesome. Stipe too busy being a firefighter. He hasn't thought about fighting next. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Stipe's super inactive, to be honest. You know, it's like he's fought once a year for like the last 4 years. I wish Stipe was fighting more often, but we've been on here for 1 hour and 7 minutes already. That's insane. Guys, if you have not liked the stream yet, like the stream. We'll go for a little bit longer, though. It's only 11:30. I constantly stay up late and get up early anyway, so we will continue. We will continue to take days off my life. So, guys, keep the questions coming. Like the stream. Subscribe to the channel. Every time you guys run up to the likes to the stream, more people, it gets recommended to more and more people. I mean, think about it. We have 2 people in here tonight that say they got recommended the stream on just randomly. Seems like everyone wants to wrestle Ferguson these days, I guess, because that's the blueprint to beat him. Exactly. That's exactly why I never cared about the Ferguson versus Khabib fight. Long before Khabib lost, I knew what was going to happen to him against Khabib. Long before Ferguson lost. I think I misspoke there. You really know your shit. Really appreciate it. A lot of people say I don't. So you can't know everything. It's hard to. I've noticed, and we've talked about this before. We've talked about this before. There's a lot of MMA YouTubers who don't even stream a lot or stream at all. And I think it's because they're worried about looking dumb on stream. If I don't know something, you guys ask me something I don't know, I say, I don't know, I got to look into it, you know? And that's just the way it is. I try my best to keep up on everything. It's hard. Time is limited. You know, sometimes I'm not even able to watch every fight. I try to. My goal is to watch every fight, but sometimes I just don't have the time to watch every single fight on the card. So if that makes me a casual, it is what it is. Eventually, one day, I will have time to watch every fight on the card. And I did last week, and I've done plenty of times. You know, I've been watching for 12 years now. Put in the chat, how long have you been an MMA fan? I'm curious, like, what's the average age of an MMA fan here? How long? You get what I'm saying. Put in the chat, how long have you been an MMA fan? 1 year, 5 year, 10 years, 20 years? I've been an MMA fan since about 2010, so about 12 years. Who is your favorite UFC fighter? I really have just guys they're my favorite to watch. Um, Off the top of my head, my favorite to watch is probably Piotr Jan, but one of my favorites to watch, but also I really have an emotional attachment to him as far as like I want them to win no matter who they're fighting. Jose Aldo. I love Jose Aldo. But there's not, maybe there's fights where I prefer one guy to win over the other, but I just like watching all these guys fight. Like, I love watching Piotr Jan fight. I love watching TJ Dillashaw fight. I love watching Jose Aldo fight. I love watching Corey Sandhagen fight. I hate TJ Dillashaw. He's a cheater. He's injecting stuff into his body. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. My favorite of all time is Anderson Silva. When he was fighting, I really got nervous. My heart was beating hard. As far as other ones, maybe, a little bit of favoritism, as far as emotionally want them to win. Outside of Jose Aldo, maybe Charles Oliveira, but I don't know if it's because I've always been a believer in him, so I kind of want to be right. Or if it's actual, there's another reason. Outside of that, I don't really. There's certain guys you root for just because. For a while, Robbie Lawler was like number 1, number 2. But he's been gone for a while. And I just love watching a lot of these guys fight. I love watching Davison Figueroa fight. I love watching Alexander Volkanovski fight. I love watching Charles Oliveira fight. I love watching Usman fight. I don't love watching Adesanya fight as of late, but I do love watching him fight. I like watching Glover Teixeira fight. I love watching Ngannou fight. I like watching Rose Namajunas fight. Valentina Shevchenko fight. Juliana Pena, not really. You get the point. So on and so forth. Okay, so let's see. Put in the chat also, what's your guys' favorite UFC fighter? Favorite UFC fighter, put it in the chat right this very second. Okay, Stipe's one of those heavyweights who's rarely boring. There was a message about that. People wish to see Stipe fight more. Why? He's the most boring fighter on the planet and the most boring personality on the planet. Let him enjoy being a fireman. Okay, fair enough. Marvin Vettori could outmuscle Rob, force him down and camp there. I don't think he could. I don't think he could do that. That would probably be his best path to victory, but I don't think he'd do that. Muhammad Mokaev has a very flamboyant past, to say the least. I don't know what that means. Since I was 16, so about 4 years. Stipe is one of the heavyweights who is rarely boring. Yeah, Stipe hasn't even been in many more boring fights. I get his personality isn't that great. Tom has been a fan for 6 years. Justin has been a fan since 2008, so he's been a fan longer than me. Zachary's been a fan for 8 months. What made you become a fan, Zachary? Cyber Power's been a fan for 3 years. Well, MMA it would be 11 years, but actually consistently watching UFC, it's 6. Fair enough. I've been watching MMA since 2008. Started off with WEC, then UFC around 2009. Okay. Before UFC 100. That's crazy. I've been watching UFC religiously since 2015 because of McGregor, but I've been a fan prior to that, okay, since 2018, so 4 years. I started watching when I discovered who Conor was, like, post-Jose. That's crazy. Luque and Cruz, I don't know what that's about. Oh, your favorite fighter. Conor and Korean Zombie. Okay, fair enough. My favorite guy to watch is Conor McGregor. My second will be Jorge Masvidal. You won't believe it, but I actually almost cry when Usman KO'd Masvidal. Sad day for me. Fair enough. Fair enough. All-time Conor McGregor. It's crazy. Conor McGregor has a lot of fans for sure. Mine's Israel. I think Conor's also disappointed a lot of people with the inactivity, the doing of disparaging stuff, the constantly talking and not fighting. I think he's turned a lot of people off. But Conor, all-time, one of my favorite fighters to watch, no doubt. Mine's Israel, Sean, and Corey. Israel, Sean, and Corey. Who's Sean? Sean O'Malley? Sean Brady? Usman. At the moment, Michael Chandler has been my favorite to watch. Hasn't been in a boring UFC fight. Fair enough. Max Holloway. My favorite fighter will be Tony Ferguson. Love the guy. Fair enough. I love watching Tony Ferguson fight. He's given us so much excitement. Actually, the video game UFC 4 made me a fan with Habib. Well, there you go. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's crazy how different people become fans. Like, I always had an eye out for it. And I remember people talking about it. I still remember people talking about UFC 100. I almost went to someone's house and watched UFC 100, but then I passed it up. Um, but once I saw that Anderson Silva triangle choke on Chael Sonnen, I was hooked. I said, I'm ordering every I think I've watched every pay-per-view since then. Let me put it that way. I used to go out to Buffalo Wild Wings and watch them and just get dinner and watch the pay-per-views. But for the last 3-4 years, I've ordered every single pay-per-view. It's crazy. It's crazy how time goes by. You know, it's crazy how many people I've seen come and go as champions. Um, and I mean, I've been paying religiously attention since mid 2010, I think. Maybe end of 2010 as far as religiously. Because I started ordering pay-per-views in 2010, in May of 2010, I think it was. BJ Penn, when he was in prime condition. I unfortunately never seen BJ Penn in his prime condition. Did you ever play the older UFC games? Yes. I played the first EA Sports UFC game was mad fun, and I used to love the THQ UFC games. I hate EA Sports as a company. They make terrible games. It's really disappointing. I had a lot of fun with the first EA Sports one, but there's just a lot of broken mechanics, and it's just like, for whatever reason, they're just not fixing it. I don't know why. I don't know if they don't have the ability. It's just like a money grab to me, and I don't trust EA Sports at all. What they do with the Madden games, same year after year, same broken things. I've gotten put off on video games in general these last few years. Constant trying to milk us for microtransactions, pay to win, just in general. Broken mechanics, not being able to get into game lobbies. They're making billions of dollars and we can't even get into a game lobby seamlessly. Come on. So, I wonder what percentage of current UFC fan base started watching because of Conor. I think it's probably at least 15 to 20%, if not more. I don't know. I would love to know that. But I don't know if that's accurate, but it's impossible to know. Can anybody KO Vettori? It's going to be hard. Vettori is made of concrete at this point. The shots that Costa landed on him, and he just ate them like they were nothing. He ate them like they were nothing. It was insane to me. So I don't know, especially not at middleweight. I mean, who has the most power at middleweight? Adesanya landed on him. No, nobody at middleweight's KOing Vettori. Best chance is probably Costa or Adesanya. Neither one of them was able to do it. Maybe Cannonier, but I don't think anybody. I think Vittori's just got a thick neck, and he's just able to basically get away with eating any type of shot. It's wild to me. It's actually wild to me that he's able to absorb the type of damage that he's able to absorb. I started watching in 1997. I used to rent the VHS from Blockbuster. That's insanity. I think I read that already. I became a fan playing UFC 3 with Israel. People stopped calling Khabib pound for pound best. Listen, pound for pound best means you dominate in different weight class. Khabib only dominated at 155. I dare him to go to 170 to super dare him. I don't think a lot of people are there people calling him pound for pound best. Also, it's very subjective. I don't know if you ever have to go to the weight class to be able to call that. Cannonier, see Leo said agree. Torn Brown Nice, the guy is just crazy and loves to fight. You have to think about how many fans started watching during Conor's initial run, and then Mayweather, Khabib, Cowboy, Dustin, 2 and 3 fights. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot. I just don't know what the number would be. I really don't know. It really is insane in general. That he even if he brought in 5% of the current sport, it's just wild to me that he's able to generate so much interest in his fights. And he has and it wouldn't work, everything that he has wouldn't work without all of it coming together as one. He has an amazing fight style, but he also is very, very good, and he wins fights, or did win fights. He only has one win in the last 6 years. So, for me, I really liked Conor when he first entered the UFC. But, as he changed a little bit, he really put me off. I started to dislike him around the Dennis Sievert fight. But also, I was never a huge believer in him. I thought he was a good fighter, but I never thought he was this special, one of a kind. And I know he did great things, and I'm not going to rehash that with you guys. But it's one of those things where it's like, but he's definitely done a lot to grow the sport. There's no doubt about that. I know that Conor Khabib fight was massive. Massive. The Conor Khabib fight was huge. There were so many people talking about that. There was people that never watched MMA in their life. There was, hold on one second. I gotta see this. There was people who don't even watch MMA who were messaging me and asking me about that because they knew I watched. In school, the only MMA fans I knew started watching due to Conor. I don't know how it is for everyone else. Gilbert Burns seems to be taking Khamzat extremely serious in his interviews. I started to dislike Conor after the Jose Aldo fight. Fair enough. What are the odds for Chandler? Free money. I am a Khabib fan, but I like Conor for his accent and trash talking. There you go. I respect him for him making fights interesting, but I think it's more the media and the UFC and Dana just gobbling him up that really annoyed me. Name another fighter that Conor would fight that would be bigger fight than Khabib rematch. I don't think there'd be any, but maybe Jorge Masvidal. That may be the next fight they make. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Would you guys mind seeing that? That would be amazing, actually, quite frankly. That'd be amazing. Really, really would. Hold on, guys. Okay. All right, guys, keep the questions coming. We'll go all the way to an hour and a half for this stream. I will be streaming tomorrow for Eagle FC as you guys have requested. But I hope Gilbert Burns is taking Khamzat seriously. If he's not, he's making a massive mistake. It would make a massive mistake. I started to dislike Conor after the Jose Aldo fight. Read that. Name another. Okay, read that too. I think Conor would have an okay chance nowadays to beat Jorge. Yeah, I would say it'd be like. I would still lean Jorge, but it'd be like 55, to 45. It would be a close fight, Especially Jorge's getting older. He's getting a little bit slower. Conor's really fast. He's bulking up, or he would bulk up even more for that. Potentially not a big weight cut, put on a lot of muscle mass. That would be a huge fight. Maybe the UFC puts that together, but it's kind of awkward. You have a guy coming off 3 losses against a guy coming off 2, and it's going to be a pay-per-view. It's a slippery slope. A slippery slope. Why? Holy crap. Okay. Jorge used to hit a lot harder. Oh my god, if that would have been the fight of my dream. If I'm Dana, I have the option. I'll say F Khabib rematch, give Conor McGregor versus Jorge Masvidal. In my eye, it's bigger in a dream fight. I don't think it's bigger. Let's do one last poll before we end the stream. What's the bigger fight? Conor versus Masvidal. Conor versus Khabib 2. I think Conor versus Khabib 2 is definitely bigger. And Dana was trying to just begging to make that fight if Conor was able to beat Dustin in that fight last January. Let's see what you guys think. I think Jorge beats Conor. It would have been bigger than Khabib fight if it took place after Conor beat Cowboy at Fight Island only. I don't think so. I think the Conor Khabib fight would just be massive. Would just be huge. Khabib versus McGregor card was something else. I had butterflies. That was crazy. The build up, the cold open to that card was insane too. And it was I always think those things are kind of cheesy, but it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So Masvidal too big for Conor. Yeah, but if Conor bulks up a bit, Jorge's not a massive welterweight. I mean, he's former lightweight as well. Well, I think that does it for this stream, guys. 100% of the people so far are saying Conor Khabib 2 is bigger. So if you want to vote, go vote now because I'm about to end the stream here in a minute. If you have any final questions, throw them in the chat. But I will be back tomorrow night to watch Eagle FC with you guys. So I hope you enjoy the streams. I hope you appreciate the streams. It takes a lot of time. I mean, this is an hour and a half right now, but I enjoy it very, very much. So that's why I try to do as many of them as I possibly can. We talked quite a bit about Chandler Ferguson, a little bit about Font versus Vera, and a bit about Vettori Whittaker and UFC Vegas 50. We talked about Conor quite a bit as well. So looks like Conor versus Khabib is the answer. 100% voted for that. Jorge 1.3 million buys at Fight Island. Conor sold 1.3 million buys. Cowboy versus Cowboy combined, that's easily over 2 million. Potential 2.5. I don't know if that works like that. They could be all the same guys buying both pay-per-views. So I don't think necessarily it's going to do 2.5. You can't just necessarily add the numbers together when it could be the same people, you know? So, all right, guys, thank you for joining me. Join me tomorrow night for Eagle FC. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like the stream on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night.